Hi, Arrow of Light Scouts. My name is Lisa Merrifield, and I'm here today to help you complete one of your Arrow of Light requirements, and that is learning about energy. I am especially excited to be doing this in April because April is Earth Month, and this year on April 22nd, it is the 50th anniversary of Earth Day. And Earth Day is a day where we celebrate the Earth and we learn about things that we can do to make the Earth a better place, and hopefully what you learn today will help you do that. So let me share a presentation with you, which should be here. We'll share the sound. Hopefully we can make this work. Okay. There we go. All right. So what is energy and why it matters and what you can do about it? That's what we're talking about today. So energy at its most basic sense is our ability to do work. So we need energy to do stuff. So energy can be anything from the food you eat, so you can go ride your bike, to a coal power plant that produces power so that you can turn on the computer that you're watching this video on. And today we're focusing on that kind of energy, the energy that lets you turn on the lights in your house, heat or cool your house, keep your refrigerator cold, and those kinds of things. We're going to talk about where that energy comes from, what forms it takes, and what you as a scout can do to use it responsibly. So in the US, here's a breakdown of how we use all of the energy that we have. And you see here that almost 40% of the energy goes into something called petroleum. And petroleum is what we use for cars and trains and trucks and all that kind of stuff. So transportation. So that's all transportation, 40% about, 37%, 40%. All of the rest of this, natural gas, coal, nuclear electricity, and renewables, all of that 60% is what goes into making our houses run, making our businesses run, our industries run. So that's what it takes. That's the breakdown of how we get the electricity. So when you turn on the lights, those are the sources it's coming from. So there are two kinds of energy, two ways this is broken out, not just in how we use it, but in where it comes from. And you see this little green piece is called renewable energy, and that is the portion of energy that's developed from things like wind or solar, stuff that we can't use up. No matter how much we use, we won't use it up. But all of the rest of this, the petroleum, the natural gas, the coal, and the nuclear electricity, are what's called non-renewable energy sources. So we can use them up. We need something from the earth that we can't generate in our lifetime. And in particular, petroleum, natural gas, and coal come from something called fossil fuels. And those are a special case of energy. And I want to talk a little bit more about that, or have you get some more information on fossil fuels and what those mean. So to do that, we are going to watch a video. There we go. So let's watch this video to learn more about fossil fuels.
Fossil fuels. Fossil fuel is a term used to describe a group of energy sources.
Sorry.
Fossil fuels. Fossil fuel is a term used to describe a group of energy sources that were formed from ancient plants and organisms during the Carboniferous period approximately 360 to 286 million years ago, even before the age of dinosaurs. At that time, the land was covered with swamps filled with organisms and plants. As they died, they sank to the bottom of swamps and oceans, and over millions of years started decomposing under layers of sand, clay, and other minerals. Different types of fossil fuels formed depending on the combination of organic matter, temperature, time, and pressure conditions while decomposing. There are three major types of fossil fuels: coal, oil, and natural gas. Coal was formed from ferns, plants, and trees, which hardened due to pressure and heat. Oil was formed from small organisms like zooplankton and algae, where pressure caused the more complex organic matter to decompose. Natural gas was formed by the same process as oil, only it was exposed to more heat and pressure, causing it to further decompose and turn into a gaseous form. Fossil fuels are sought-after energy sources because they have a high energy density. They are the world's dominant energy source. Fossil fuels have a variety of applications from electricity production to transport fuels. They can also be used to make a variety of common products, from plastics to cosmetics to even some medicines. These resources have powered industrialization over history and continue to do so today. Fossil fuels can be an abundant and cheap, or in some cases, a scarce and expensive form of energy, depending on geographic location. For this reason, geopolitical issues arise due to scarcity caused by the natural geographic allocation of these highly valuable resources. Fossil fuels are considered non-renewable resources because they take millions of years to form, which means that once they are used, the resources will not be replenished in a human lifetime. The gradual depletion of the most accessible fossil fuel reserves have forced companies to develop technologies for extracting more challenging or unconventional reserves. In many cases, this means additional safety and environmental concerns as well as higher costs. Fossil fuels are also the largest emitters of carbon dioxide, a greenhouse gas which causes climate change. In addition, their production causes both environmental and human health issues. These concerns have triggered society to look at alternate sources of energy that are more environmentally sustainable and renewable. That's fossil fuels.
All right. Let's see if we can go to our next slide. Oop, went too far. There we go. So now you know about fossil fuels and the largest source of non-renewable energy that we use in our country, in the world. But you also heard a little bit about those non-renewable sources, that little tiny piece of the puzzle that I think is growing, that is growing. I don't know if you've driven to Bloomington and seen all of the wind farms, or if you've seen your neighbors with solar panels on their houses, but that's all renewable energy. It's becoming more and more common. So I would like us to watch another short video to learn about renewables so that you know what those are and where they come from.
Around the world, renewable energy use is on the rise. And these alternative energy sources could hold the key to combating climate change. What is renewable energy? Renewable energy is generated from sources that naturally replenish themselves and never run out. The most common sources are solar, wind, hydro, geothermal, and biomass. Over 80% of the total energy consumed by humans is derived from fossil fuels. However, renewables are the fastest growing source of energy in the world. Renewable energy has many benefits. First, it can combat climate change because it creates no direct greenhouse gas emissions. The only emissions that they produce are indirect, meaning those that result from manufacturing parts, installation, operation, and maintenance. But even those are minimal. Second, renewable energy can decrease pollution and therefore reduce threats to our health. Wind, solar, and hydroelectric systems create no air pollution emissions, and geothermal and biomass energy systems emissions are much lower than non-renewable energy sources. Third, renewable energy is a reliable source of power. Because renewable energy sources are, well, renewable, they will never run out. Once built, renewable facilities cost very little to operate, and the fuel is often free. As a result, renewable energy prices tend to be stable over time. While renewable energy has many advantages, it is not without downsides. It is difficult for renewable energy sources to generate power on the same large scale as fossil fuels. Building wind farms and dams can disrupt wildlife and migration patterns and lead to ecological destruction. Both solar and wind energy are intermittent. They only generate power while the sun is shining or while the wind is blowing. Batteries can store excess energy for later use. However, they are often costly. While renewable energy presents some challenges, it also offers an environmentally friendly alternative to the greenhouse gas emissions and pollution of fossil fuels. And as advances in technology make renewable energy more accessible, affordable, and efficient, an end to climate change could be within our reach.
All right. So in that video, it talked a lot about renewables and why renewable energy might be a better resource than non-renewable energy in the long term. They also mentioned that part of the problem is that renewable energy is intermittent. The sun doesn't shine all the time and the wind doesn't blow all the time, that battery storage can be expensive. And that is true right now. But engineers around the world are working to fix that problem. And I think we will see very soon battery capabilities attached to renewable energy facilities that will make renewable energy even more attractive. But that said, you also heard that renewable energy is not perfect. It does still cause some environmental damage. So no matter what, we need to conserve energy. We need not to use as much as we do in order to really make an environmental impact and be good stewards of the earth. So I'm going to show you how to do that next. And if you guessed I was going to show you a video, you would be right. So let's start this one.
Energy. Without it, absolutely.
Before we start it, let me just say they're going to cover a little bit of stuff that you already saw, but then they'll get into how we can conserve energy.
Absolutely nothing would happen. The sun gives us two kinds of energy, light energy and heat energy. At night, electrical energy powers our light bulbs and appliances. There are two kinds of energies, renewable energy and non-renewable energy. Sunshine, wind, water, plants. The flow of energy from these guys never stops. Oil, coal, natural gas, atomic energy. There's a limit to these energies. These energies can be all used up. If we use too much, there'll be none left. So we really should make sure we're not using too much energy, shouldn't we? Does anybody know how we can use energy the smart way? If you're leaving a room for more than 5 minutes, don't forget, turn the light off. And on a sunny day, why not open the curtains and just use natural light? It's simple. Take out incandescent light bulbs and switch them to compact fluorescent bulbs. These use a lot less energy. Just turn off the TV when you're not watching it. Turn the heating down. If it's cold, wear more clothes. And when it's hot, try using a fan. When you're not using them, why not unplug some machines, like computers, TVs, radios, and video game systems? Something we all need to know, even after charging your phone, your charger will continue to use energy. So unplug it. Water is precious. Energy is needed to clean it. So how about saving a little? Instead of taking a bath, take shorter showers. Try not to keep the water running while you're brushing your teeth. Drippy taps waste a lot of water. Just think, a leaking tap wastes enough water to fill a soda bottle every 30 minutes. Set your washing machine to wash at 30 degrees Celsius. Dry your clothes outside instead of using a tumble dryer. Close the fridge door and never put a hot meal in the fridge. It takes a lot of energy to cool it down. Do you know about Energy Star labels? Well, products with Energy Star labels use much less energy than the others. Keep an eye out for them when you're shopping. And how about riding a bike instead of driving? Being energy smart means doing little things that are important, like using both sides of a piece of paper. And if you can reuse something instead of throwing it away, please do. Want to know something funny? All of these tips won't just help save energy, they'll save you money too. Want to know more about energy? Check out another great video we made. What is energy?
And if you're done with the computer, remember, shut it off. Thanks for watching.
All right. So now you know a lot about energy. You know about how we consume energy in the US. You know what non-renewable fossil fuel energy is and where it comes from. You know what renewable energy is, and you know why you should conserve energy and how to do it. So the next step as a scout, and I know you want to take some action, is to follow links like this to the Energy Star Pledge, which lets you commit, you and your family commit to what you can do to save energy. Take your parents along when you go to this link, because there are some bigger things like buying Energy Star appliances and that kind of thing that you probably can't do, but there's a lot of stuff that you can do. Turning off the lights, turning off the water when you're brushing your teeth, using both sides of a piece of paper, all that stuff makes a difference. So now you're an Energy Star. So congratulations. I hope this information helps make you a better scout and a better steward of the earth. Bye for now.